I am joined by two very capable fellas that are going to tell us about an exciting new, not new, enhanced music festival. Mike App. And Mike, you are you're a fabulous guy, but you are also with Bridges Trust, and you're my neighbor up at 133rd in California. You are a wealth manager, but you do a lot more at Bridges Trust. Tell us about it.
Well, it's a company that's been around since 1945, growing its business, was the first investment advisor in the state of Nebraska, had the first mutual fund in the state of Nebraska. And we do basically core four things, which is investment management, trust and estate administration, philanthropy advisory services, and we have a family office group.
I know that your founder, Mike McCarthy, who's legendary in investments in Omaha, Council Bluffs, and he, he's had a number of very successful partnerships. I have friends that are in some of those partnership groups. Is he still doing that for high net worth individuals?
Well, so he remains chairman of McCarthy Group. That's actually an outfit that's now run by a gentleman named Patrick Duffy. Mike actually offices at Bridges Trust with us, and he spends most of his time there. He's also chair of the Union Pacific Railroad. He's got a couple of other charitable things that he does. So Mike's a busy guy. Yeah,
and all of you have been great for the city of Omaha. TJ Twitt, the name rings a bell. You have a beautiful family. I've met your parents. I've met your siblings. And big fan of your sister, Chris. And your family had a mortuary in, is it Carroll, Iowa?
That's right.
All right. And you've kind of moved on since then. And
I did move on since then.
In addition to being in a very great bar band and being a musician, and I've seen you play a couple times actually. Do you have any day jobs?
Yeah, I work at the Lund Company, Cushman Wakefield.
Oh yeah, we're friendly competitors. Yeah. And what do you do there?
I am a executive vice president of investment services.
Excellent. And I know you've done some humongous deals. You're a wonderful person. At least that's what your sister told me. And I'm welcome because both of you guys. It's the first time on the show. And you know who hasn't been on the show? Let's see. There's a gentleman. This is our 1,127th week of John Lund not being on our radio show. And just to put it in perspective, his son's been on it about 3 times. Many other people that work at Lund Company have been on the show. It's 7,891 days since our first show in January 10th of 2004, and 21.6 years. So, John, keep grinning, baby. He's always listening. No, we love John and Vanita Lund, more Vanita. So you guys are here for a purpose, and your main purpose is, other than being great guys and friends of the show, and you tell us the history of Outlandia and the Maha music festivals.
Well, Maha really started in 2009 as a result of a friend of ours, Tyler Owen, who I had met long ago and discovered that we liked a lot of the same music together. And what we found was we were going to places like Kansas City, Denver, Chicago to see those bands. And one day he comes to me and he says, why don't we bring the bands here? Let's start a music festival. And that was in late 2008. The first festival was downtown on the riverfront, the old Lewis and Clark Landing.
Any idea how many people?
Well, that's funny. One of our co-founders, Traber Shear, was assigned the task of telling the public how many people were at the festival. So while
was it the Donald Trump approach of how many people
were
there?
Kind of more art than science, maybe?
Attendance inflation, perhaps is the phrase.
Okay.
We sold a few hundred tickets that first year, but I think Trey claimed that we sold, 2,000 and that there were 3,000 or 4,000 people on the riverfront.
That works. Well, fake it till you make it. And so from there, what happened the second year?
Well,
did it come the second year too?
The story is we were $45,000 in the hole after year one, and you don't not pay your bills in this town and live to see another year. So
That's why you brought Tyler on?
the founders, well, no, the founders each equally kicked in to fund the next year. And then the next year was again down on the riverfront, which is where we're back this year in 2025, back to the roots.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you this a few times, but you got to get on. Is there a website?
Yes, mahafestival.com.
MahaFestival.com.
And we'd especially like you to go to mahafestival.com/tickets.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And this is Saturday, August 2nd, 2 p.m., and it's going to go late in the night? Or
11 p.m. Yeah.
11.
So the gates actually open at 1. First band goes on at 2.
Do you allow beach balls?
I don't know if we allow beach balls.
You
I
can
would
find
say-
it on the website.
Yeah, I'd say find out. Yeah.
Find it on the website. Okay, so you took some years off during COVID, I'd imagine.
Mm-hmm. We took 1 year off during COVID.
Oh, that's it. Oh, so that's great. Okay, so this is the Pixies, which people should have heard of. There's some bands that people have heard of. There's some bands that people probably haven't heard of. So how do you decide what bands are going to play the festival?
Great question. So we actually partner with a production company, local production company, 1% Productions, and we have some influence and some input on which bands are chosen. Mostly with the headliner, right? So we had a lot of input on which headliner, and then we look at a number of factors, but really what we want is bands that will get people there early, get people buying beer and buying food and buying T-shirts for the entire 9 hours.
To fund it and make this bigger and better, I assume this is originally this was a nonprofit.
It is
not by choice.
It still is nonprofit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I if there's such a thing as a for-profit music festival, that would be a foreign concept for us. Yeah.
Right, and the truth is that if it wasn't for a gentleman like this and the people that they work with to bring these types of shows and entertainment to Omaha, it'd be a sad place. And we're really lucky that you guys. This is. It might be a labor of love, but you're not doing it to put money in your pocket. You're doing it to get the bands that you love and the culture, and to give people an offering. So are you getting all ages at this show?
Yeah, I mean we'll get I think kids under 10 and get in free, and
That's right.
and we'll have there's no age limit either. So we'll have fans of all ages for sure.
What are the food offerings?
We have
That's why I'd be
6
going.
food trucks, and I don't.
Eat Creamery,
Thank you.
Rutabagas, Parthenon. I'm going to get the list for you, Trent. I don't have them memorized. Sarah Baker Hansen, our media manager, is going to kill me for not managing. Sorry, Sarah.
That's why they can call Sarah Baker. She'll know. She's a friend of the show.
You know, you to back up, you talked about the not-for-profit piece. There's actually a reason behind that. And when we first started having conversations to put this show on, John Heaston, may he rest in peace,
Yeah.
was one of the first people we went to talk to about this. And he was encouraging us to set it up as a business so that we could profit from it. And it was really Tyler's and my decision to make it a not-for-profit. And that was really because we wanted buy-in from the community. We didn't think we would be able to raise money from people unless we were doing it for the community instead of for ourselves. And so that, in fact, is how we got Trey Brashear involved. At that time, he was an attorney. In fact, he was my family's attorney, and we called him and said, hey, would you please incorporate us as a 501c3? And then the fourth leg to the original stool was Mike Toohey, who runs a distribution business here in town.
So whether it's not-for-profit or for-profit, the important thing is to make it sustainable and lasting and
right.
create something that Omahans will be proud of and people that come from all 50 states to the event. So we're talking about the Maha Music Festival. The Omaha music scene, Mike App, you're a purveyor and you frequent these things. And what would you say about the overall independent music scene?
Yeah, so Maha was born out of the work that the Saddle Creek folks did in terms of putting us on the music map. But what I would say is that what we experienced from a supply of good music, in the mid-2000s has exploded. It's remarkable what Mark Leibowitz and Jim Johnson at 1% Productions have done with the Waiting Room, with Reverb Lounge, with Astro Theater, with purchasing the Sokol and rebranding it
Admiral.
the Admiral today. Slow Down down on 14th and Cumming has regular show. It's remarkable. I don't know if you pay attention to Jim Mingy's Dispatch, where he lists what's going on each week, or Mark Manor has something called Omaha Buzz.
Are those websites?
They're both websites. Mark Manor's Omaha Buzz is on Substack, and then Jim at the Dispatch is a website. That's a good one that complements your Grow Omaha. In fact, I read his newsletter as religiously as I read yours each week.
And I appreciate that. And so what he's talking about, ladies and gentlemen, there's a gentleman behind the camera named Chris Corey, and he and his wife, Jennifer Corey, have Arbor Creative, and they built our website, but they also really refreshed it within the last year. We have 55,000 Facebook followers for a reason. So everybody, if you go to growomaha.com, everything at Grow Omaha Media is free. And all you do is you sign up for a newsletter that goes into your inbox every Thursday afternoon. We have unbelievable sponsors. You've heard about some of them already. But Grow Omaha Media is three things. It's a Facebook page that leads you mainly to our website. The website has 14 contributors. Everything, basically, we cover everything, all the news you need to know for free. We don't cover religion, we don't cover politics, and we don't cover crime. Other than that, it's the hard news that Omaha needs. And time again, I hear from these guys and other people that it's the number one news source in Omaha, and we strive to do that. We grow by about 400 to 500 followers on Facebook every week. So be part of the Grow Omaha Nation and or city, whatever you want to call it. Jeff and I call ourselves Omaha famous, and we hope
Without a doubt.
Yeah, we hope that that people follow. And we have arts and entertainment on there as well, and philanthropy and all kinds of stuff. But do we need to do a better job? And I know these guys have Substack and they have their websites and stuff like that. But TJ, do we need to do a better job of announcing the live music in town?
Couldn't hurt. I mean, we appreciate the opportunity to talk about Maha, but there is an abundance of live music. Like Mike said, it is really kind of multiplied. And there's a show that you probably want to go see every night.
And
and you got to throw in there the Steelhouse, Omaha Performing Arts. You've got
That's beautiful.
CHI, the touring events that come in. It's just fantastic how much we have.
A lot of great venues.
And the Astro indoors and outdoors in La Vista. Do you think you're getting people from all 50 states at this event? Are there groupies that follow the circuit?
Yeah, there's groupies that follow the bands for sure. But over the course of the last 16 years, we've sold tickets in every single one of the 50 states.
And this is just like the College World Series, all the events that the swim trials when we had them for 4 different times. All of these kind of things, they put Omaha on the map, and they get people to Omaha. We don't have to make excuses about there's nothing to do in Omaha. I got news for you. If you're bored in Omaha, you're going to be bored in New York or London or Paris. Well, London or Paris, you might have to watch yourself. But it's so great when we have people on the show and we see people paying it forward. And that's really what you guys are doing with this concert venue. You guys could be doing a lot of other stuff with your families, and but your love for music helps people out, and people are going to see bands that maybe they haven't even heard of. But
we should talk about the bands.
Let's talk about them.
So TJ was instrumental in getting this year's lineup together.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, Tyler and I, Tyler Owen, worked with Jim and Mark at 1% Productions to book the bands. I mean,
they're really affordable at 1%.
Exactly. Well, they were instrumental in helping us. Obviously, they're the booking agent, and they
Pixies was a huge.
The Pixies was a huge get. I mean, when we picked the date and part of the reason that we picked the date was because the Pixies were available to headline the show.
And that allowed us to get the other band.
Exactly. And so that it all kind of falls in line. When you book a legendary rock band like the Pixies, people want to play.
That's awesome.
So
People
who
wanna
said
play on the
yes,
lineup.
DJ? Who else?
So we have, and I'll go in order. So first notably played at 2:00 by Little Brazil, local band. Then we have Silver Sun Pickups. Then we have, thanks for putting this in front of me. Magdalena Bay, Band of Horses, Waxahachie, and the Pixies will take us home.
It's just fun to say Waxahachie. I am here with TJ Twitt and Mike App, who are instrumental. See how he did that? In the Maha Music Festival, which is going to be 2:00 next Saturday at the riverfront. You guys said that it's going to be kind of on the north side of Heartland of America Park, and where can people park?
They can park all over. I mean, there's a lot of there's I think there's something like 16,000 parking stalls that are within a 3-block radius of the west the entrance of the park. So any Omaha Park.
I'm sure it's all on your website.
It's on the website. Yeah, there's going to be there'll be a map that shows all of the parking garages that are available.
Well, and two other. I mean, Orbit literally drops off right
Right
there
in front.
of the park.
Yeah.
So you can take Orbit, and then
we'll have a rideshare location as well for Uber and Lyft.
So go to mahafestival.com
/tickets,
of course, and get that done. So thanks for that, you guys.
If you like this video, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. And remember, Grow Omaha is not just media. This is a mission. We are trying to build up Omaha and make it an even better place. We can only do that with your help. Share this video with your friends, neighbors, and family.